During your time as a case manager, were there any trends that you noticed with your clients? Was there anything that you believed to be broken in the system?
I'm not sure about broken. I think it's really important to understand that we were the last port of call for some of our clients. And, rapport was incredibly important to have with your caseload. And if you didn't have that rapport, then it was very hard to ascertain what the problems were to be able to get the background services around particular clients to see them progress. So there was a very strong movement from Labour to National around that sort of change in how we connected and operated with clients at Work and Income. I don't think broken was ever a use I would describe the system. I think it's one that you really need to understand as a case manager to navigate. So if you've got the good, solid foundational training as a case manager, you can really build relationships and rapport with people and understand that half of them don't want to be there anyway. I know
Yeah,
I didn't when
yeah,
I was a client.
yeah,
I never really wanted to be there, but it was a matter of having to at that point in time. So the training, I think, was always important and critical to me as a case manager, and learning to develop that skill set to be able to communicate better, understand where they were coming from. And I think always reminding yourself that it wasn't your money. It wasn't your money that you were spending. Giving full and correct entitlement to me was always my foundation, and then making sure we built from there. But I love my time there. I still see a lot of my clients that I had back then, especially the youth clients who are now in full-time employment. I still see people that I've placed into employment out and about in the community, still doing really well, and often stop and have a yarn about the good old days, they call them.
What's that like?
Um,
That must be pretty
it's
special.
cool. It's very
Yeah.
special. Absolutely. Especially the youth. I did a lot of work with youth when I first went there, and I became a work broker from a case manager, went to work broker, and I still have people say, oh, you got me that job at such and such, and it was really cool. It set off this career pathway for me, and I did this and I done that. And, do you remember me? I was the single mum with the two twins, and I was having problems, and it was really tough going. And, you were always there and supportive and helped me, navigate the world as we know it now. So that's really special. And to still have that so many years later, yeah, that's why we do what we do, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that sounds really,
It's really cool.
really rewarding. I mean, I'm sure at times it must have been taxing as well.
Yes.
You know, because you're hearing, regardless of whether whether personal things are going well or not, you're hearing like countless stories about how things have gone wrong and how they want to change
Yeah.
and improve their lives as well.
Yeah, and we always had, I had a philosophy around solution-based and not problem-based. So we tend to talk about the solution of the issue rather than the issue itself, because half of the time the issues are things that we can't help. They're out of our control, but what we can do is look at the solutions around the issue. And that's normally how I got most of the progress within my client base and time and relationships that I had. But a significant part of my life, and I truly believe, as a young Māori woman, DPB, and I had my son when I was very young. So I had my eldest son, who was now 26 at the age of 18. And I still recall having to go through the system and budgeting the week as everybody else does, and living check to paycheck sort of thing, or benefit to benefit. And I think some of those lessons learnt then, I still carry those as my value set, which I think is something to take from a bad situation that, all these years later, I can still remember and recall what it was like. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that learning, and I'm definitely grateful to be able to share and help other people. And that's why I think I just loved that work. Loved it. Yeah.